Hello, hello, lovelies, and welcome to the Love Life with Court show. As always, I am your host, Courtney, and if this is your first time tuning into the pod, well, welcome to the family. And if not, here is a warm welcome back. Before we get into today's episode, we got to have a chat. Me and you, we got to talk. Maybe it makes sense to you. If you know me personally, it definitely will make sense to you. But if you don't, well, this may change the dynamic of our relationship. When it comes to my journey of being a podcaster, quitting my 9 to 5, falling headfirst into content creating and loving every minute of it, I have been a boring bitch. Excuse my language, but I have suppressed the fun side of Courtney. I am trying not to be cringy all the time, even though I'm the cringiest bitch you'll ever meet. I am trying to be calm. I don't know where that came from, but when I started this podcast, I was offering a little snip clip, a little clip into Calm Courtney. And that's where I messed up, because then everyone was like, "Oh, we love how calm you are. We love your voice is just so calming and the energy is just so relaxing." But that's not who I am. If anything, I'm so far from bringing a calming and relaxing energy. I am the opposite. I am bringing the energy, I'm bringing the juice, I'm bringing the party. I'm embracing the bad bitch that I truly am, and I feel like it would be hypocritical for me to continue to tell you to embrace who you are and be true to yourself when I'm not doing that myself. So, moving forward, this podcast is going to be anything but a relaxing, calming environment. It's the last time you'll hear that voice, because no, it's going to be Courtney 2.0. It's going to be the Courtney that you don't really get to see behind the screen or behind the mic, where I'm with my friends and I'm super hyper and all over the place, and there's going to be no bullshit. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be an amazing time. And I completely understand if that doesn't align with you. I've had a realization, I've had an epiphany, and that's what today's episode is about, which is don't live a mediocre life. And better yet, don't be mediocre. The intentions of this episode is to explore the significance of being true to yourself to live your most divine life. Yes, something we are all craving and searching for is living our divine life. Now, when it comes to feeling a sense of purpose in life, attaining a high level of self-love, being true to your life path, and aligning yourself with the life you desire, it all stems to being true to yourself. No matter what you're manifesting or working towards in life, it all stems from being true to yourself. And that goes hand in hand with manifesting the life you desire. If you are continuously spending your life not being the person you are meant to be and embracing every aspect of that, it's going to be very difficult to attain and acquire. So there was a doctor who became the greatest surgeon in the country and also the president of the National Society of Surgeons. And for this reason, there was a celebration that was hosted in his honor. Although he was not happy about this. And when he got to the party, one of his friends asked him why he was so sad in light of achieving something that others can't even dream about. Where the surgeon responded, "The thing is that I achieved something that I didn't even want. I never wanted to be a surgeon, and now I can't escape from it. If I would suffer a failure, then maybe I would have a chance to do something that I really love. And now I am chained to a thing that I don't even like." His friend was obviously in awe, asking him, "You must be joking. The biggest honor for a surgeon is to become the president of a national society. Your wife is happy, your children are happy, everyone has the highest respect for you." And the surgeon responded, saying, "But I don't respect myself. That's what is wrong. I wanted to be a dancer, but my parents were against it. And I've listened to them. I was weak. I became a great surgeon, but I'm very mediocre in the field that I wanted to dedicate my life to. This is why I'm unhappy." Now, when it comes to a story like this, I know we can all think of someone, if it's not yourself, that has lived a life of regret. They didn't follow an aspiration that they had as a child, or they put someone else's dreams as a priority as opposed to their own. They wish they could have gone back and done something different, and that's why their life is the way it is. Now, tying into not being true to yourself, I don't necessarily think this stems from being weak, as it said in the story, but actually the influence of others. From a young age, the perception of others is instilled upon us. And if we lack from either our parents or, the people we're surrounded by, family members, friends, if we are not taught the ability to practice self awareness and be confident in who we are, and instead told who we are, the perceptions of others are instilled upon us. What happens is we slowly begin to disconnect from what makes us us and essentially being true to who we are. Now, I'll give you an example and think about a time you were growing up and maybe a family member, a parent, a best friend told something, a perception they had about you to you. Now, this can be for me, I'm very out there. I'm very all over the place. I get super hyper sometimes. And a lot of people told me that I was extremely extroverted, which is true. But others told me that I was too much, that I talked too much, that I didn't have a filter, I overshared. And other people that didn't really know that side of me were saying that I was very mature for my age. And because of that, I, from a young age, was given a lot of responsibilities. And these perceptions of others, the words that were instilled into me, began to cultivate who I was. And this is something that I'm still continuing to work through. And what I mean by that is just how I started today's episode. I begin to mold who I am, what my goals are based on what others enjoy about me or perceive about me. And what I am actively doing is thinking back to, things that people told me about myself and challenging it. Do I think I'm annoying? Hell no. Did I think I was annoying and suppress sides of me because of that in the past? Definitely. Do I think that I am super mature for my age and wise beyond my years and can handle any situation? Heck no. But do I act like that with specific people because that's what they expect from me? Yes. And where the surgeon says that he was weak minded, the way I look at it is how flooded can your mind become with these thoughts of who you are until you become what those thoughts are. So that's what I want to work through today. Now, when I say don't live a mediocre life, going back to if either yourself or if you know someone who has lived a life of regret, it's not a life you want to desire. And if you can take anything from this episode today, it's essentially that challenge everything that was instilled into you. No matter if you are in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, and so forth, challenge it. It is never too late to align yourself with who you are meant to be. Now, this man lived a life that didn't align with his true self, resulting in reduced satisfaction and fulfillment in life, which in hindsight leads to a life of wish I could have, I really should have, if only I could go back, I would, which essentially translates into a life of regret. And if it's a choice of pleasing others and being the person you think you should be, or choosing the path of least resistance, embracing every aspect of you and being the person you are meant to be, which path are you going to choose? And I'll give another example before I hop off, which is I went to college for 2 years. I went to university for 2.5 years. I worked really hard. I did a college and university degree in 4.5 years, which should have taken me 6 years. I had worked so hard. I had a job where I was getting $70K a year. I was on salary, guaranteed hours. I had benefits. Everything up until a few months ago seemed perfect for me. Everything. I accomplished everything that I had on my list, but this list was not my list. It was a list of contributions from every family member I had. The most influential person in my life had a significant impact on those decisions, and nothing really felt like this was it for me until I started this podcast, until I was sitting on my living room floor and I just started talking. Now, where I started this episode today, I told you that I was very calm. When I started it, I had a very relaxing and calm voice, and I wanted to present myself that I had my life together. I knew exactly what everybody needed to do to get their life together, and that was the facade that I was putting out. Because I knew that those people that influenced my life, that questioned all of the schooling I did, and now I want to do a podcast and quit my job, they were going to listen to it. And I had to show them that there was a reason that I quit my job, kind of put my degree in the filing cabinet, and I stopped being true to myself. And this entire journey up until this point, it felt right, but at the same time, it still felt like something was missing. And today, I realized that it was me that was missing. And I don't mean someone else has been talking on the mic. Well, I kind of mean that. I mean that I am not showing up as who I am on the inside and being true to myself when I hop on the mic and record my podcast, when I go on social media. And I think there are a lot of aspects in your life where you do the same. So, if you can take anything from this episode, there's a bunch of people in your life that want you to be a certain person. And the thing is you'll never meet those expectations. Never. But the only expectations that really matter are your own and those expectations about yourself. Now, I don't know about you, but I rather meet my expectations 100% than meet a bunch of others people at 25, 50% and feel like I am not being myself, not being true to who I am, and not embracing the baddest bitch you ever did meet. So it's time for you to do the same. Don't live a mediocre life. And also, friendly reminder to not only be kind to others, but also to your beautiful, amazing, incredible, badass self. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I am going to start doing 2 episodes a week starting next week. And a little side note, do your girl a favor and follow me on Instagram, TikTok, whatever your favorite social media platform is, and connect with me, because I know I can tell from my analytics that there are so many of you that I have not had the opportunity to connect with. And I would love to get to know who you are. And yeah, that's it. I have a lot of listeners in the US, don't know anybody from the US. So if you're listening right now, hit me up. But yeah, love you guys so much. Hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we will see you next week. Bye.